I don't know why I'm doing this.
Because this is my graphic designer.
I wouldn't say that much.
So we put our little logo on here and follow if you can. Let's go. Oh. What's up, YouTube? Rubiconian here, and today we're going to talk about gas mileage. And I know since everybody saw that the Jeep was lifted and we got 37s on it, and it's just a little 4-cylinder, what kind of gas mileage are we getting? So let's find out, shall we? Still love that. Get out here where we can see. Right now we're averaging 19. I had it up in the 20s, and even at one point it was 21.9. So something to consider about raising your Jeep or putting bigger tires on it is your gas mileage. How's it gonna drive? How are things gonna be different? But if I can show you tips or ways of driving, one of the biggest reasons that people don't lift their Jeeps or they don't put oversized tires on it is because of gas mileage and the drivability. But if I can show you ways to overcome those things, then hopefully you can enjoy a nice lift and some bigger tires. There is one downside to lifting the Jeep. Tobin, up. Get up, come on, up, up. He hates to jump, so come on, paws up, yep, and then, oh, okay, well, you want a helping hand? All right. I'm gonna hurt my back one day. No, there's no food. You're a mess. You ready to go? You want some breakfast? Yeah, well, yeah, it's in there, but no, like Chick-fil-A. Yeah, bananas? Oh, yeah. They're up there. Good tight seal in here, so you do have to make sure you close it. So we haven't even started out yet, and our mileage average is dropping down to below 19. So idling is one of your killers of gas mileage. You have this little start-stop button down here, the A. I won't focus on it because I can't hold still. But your engine stop button, just let that do its thing. It's there. Engineers designed it for a reason. It'll help you out with gas mileage. And, well, really, you don't have to stop it unless it annoys you and you don't care about the gas mileage or you're off-road. I don't really intend to do that stuff off-road in case something breaks, but is what it is. So we're going to try and see how high we can get this just driving around town. So we're going to jump in and go get ourselves some breakfast and just watch how it climbs. Now this is where we're typically cruising at, anywhere from 50 to 55 miles an hour, country roads, nothing that crazy, no serious hills or anything, but not being in boost on the 4-cylinder really gets the gas mileage up. So this is kind of where we typically stay. I lose most of the gas mileage when I'm just sitting or accelerating. Acceleration is a huge, huge thing for big tires because, one, you're not going to accelerate as fast when you're switching over to larger tires, and there's also a sound to it, so it's going to sound different when you're going down the highway. It's a lower tone, so you're going to actually think that you're going slower, when in all reality you're doing the same speed as you used to. That's just tire diameter. So things to consider whenever you're driving around town. One of the best things or piece of advice that I ever got for gas mileage and hypermiling and stuff like that was to drive it like a bicycle. Now, in a bicycle, you are actually the engine, and you feel the effort that the engine puts into whenever you're moving, whenever you're stopping, and things like that. So you want to coast as much as you can. And understanding that principle, yeah, you're not going to maintain the speed limit all the time. There's going to be variations of how fast you go. But within reason, you can actually seriously increase your fuel mileage just by coasting as much as possible. I say that as I get behind a Tesla. 0 miles. No. So yeah, getting on the highway, we're not even really cresting 3,000 RPMs in acceleration, and we're using that turbo to kind of like really get the bottom end and use the torque to accelerate, whereas we're not jumping up into the higher end of the horsepower, and that's going to save us fuel. So we're already getting over 20 miles to the gallon, and we're on the highway, and we're up to highway speeds, and that's on 37s. So it's not impossible to get actual decent gas mileage with larger tires. I know everybody said, oh, your gas mileage is going to suffer. Well, there's also a trade-off. You actually have a lot of inertia built up in the wheels and tires when they're larger. So if you have a larger diameter tire, it's going to tend to want to roll further, believe it or not. So once you get it going, that's the process that you really have to concentrate on, is getting it going and understanding what it's going to want to do. So going up a hill, you have more weight to push up the hill, so maybe hit the hill a little faster. We're doing actually a little bit below the speed limit, but we're going to speed up as best we can until we're in the hill, and then about a third of the way up. So our gas mileage is 15 climbing, so we're letting off. We're actually a little bit over the speed limit, so we're letting off in order to get up the hill, and our gas mileage is over 20 MPGs right now. So this is how you drive. This is how you hyper mileage. This is how you get the best mileage out of these larger tires without breaking your wallet. And I know with gas prices rising, that's definitely something that some people are interested in, and something that we want to definitely address. So yeah, we're up to 19 miles per gallon again, and I'm sure after I sit in a drive-through that's going to change. But yeah, we dropped down to 60s. Now we're back up to 65. A little bit of bump steer, some potholes, and we're doing highway speeds, and we're over our average. So if we sit here and continue like this is on hills. There are hills here. So if we continue our average, increasing our average like this, we get well over 20. So not a bad trade-off. We're running 39, I think. I have to pull it up. Doing all this stuff. Yeah, I know. I'm bad. So 39 and 40 PSI on the tires. Of course, we're on road. So that'll change if you're off-road. And I will tell you, this thing off-road sucks gas like nobody's business. For a 4-cylinder, she will drink some gas, especially in low range. I've had a chance just to play with it around in the yard, let my son drive it, and try out some stuff on it. And that mileage dropped really quick. But if it's just being a daily, and you're using it around town and using it, like an everyday car, it's not unlivable. It is actually very practical, even with the lift, wheels, tires, and curbs don't stand a chance. There ain't a curb I've met that I can't conquer. MIT did a study that said if people would just not tailgate each other or leave more space in between cars, they would actually get there twice as fast on average in their lifetime, as well as save billions of gallons of fuel each year. So, understanding that philosophy, don't tailgate. Don't be that guy that has no reaction time in order to stop, which forces the people behind you to have less reaction time to stop. And eventually there's somebody that's not paying attention, that's on their cell phone, probably shooting a YouTube video, and then they ram into that innocent person, all because, I don't know, maybe a skunk crossed the road or whatever. But yeah. take a look at our final numbers. So we left the house at 18.9. We're back here at 19.2 where we started. And we went through the drive-thru and got some Chick-fil-A. So that's a win-win in my book. So there we have it. We've driven around town and we actually increased our gas mileage. It got so low because I was out playing in the field in it and playing with the four-wheel drive, as well as sitting in it for long periods of time on the phone, sitting still with it running. But yeah, it is very capable of getting 20 plus miles to the gallon in a Jeep with 37s on it. So with a lift. So we'll talk more about that. We'll recap everything that you should be trying to do, and if you really want a daily one of these, and just how to be more practical with it. So real quick, just recap. Drive it like a bicycle. Roll. Don't turn off the auto stop. What else? Accelerate slowly. Okay? And tire pressures, right? So these are all things that you need to consider whenever you're trying to live practically with a lifted Jeep and make the most of it. So hopefully this saves you some time, some money, some ridicule for your decisions. And till then. For just a simple like, subscribe, and share, you can feed a homeless YouTuber too. So please, do it for the children. Or at least the dog.